A cult is not always easy to define, but there are some clear characteristics that set it apart from legitimate religious or spiritual groups. A cult is typically a group or organization that manipulates its members for the benefit of its leaders. These leaders often claim to have special knowledge or powers that others do not. They might say they are chosen by a higher being, or that they are the only ones who can offer salvation, enlightenment, or true happiness. Cults often isolate their members, both physically and emotionally. They may encourage you to cut ties with your family and friends, saying these people don't understand the truth. This creates a closed environment where only the cult's ideas are heard, making it harder for members to question what is happening. One major red flag of a cult is its focus on absolute obedience. Leaders may demand unquestioning loyalty, insisting that doubting them is the same as doubting the higher power they claim to represent. They may punish or shame anyone who asks questions or expresses doubt. In a healthy spiritual community, questioning and dialogue are encouraged. In a cult, they are not. Cults are also known for their focus on recruitment and financial gain. Members are often pressured to bring in new recruits or to donate large amounts of money. This money rarely benefits the community as a whole. Instead, it supports the leaders' lifestyles or their goals of expanding control. Genuine spiritual organizations focus on serving others, not on accumulating wealth or power. Finally, cults use fear as a tool. They might tell you that leaving the group will bring disaster, not just for you, but for your loved ones. They may say that only their group can protect you from some great danger, whether spiritual, physical, or emotional. This fear keeps members trapped, even if they feel something is wrong. It's important to remember that not all small or unfamiliar groups are cults. A group may have unique beliefs or practices without being harmful. The key difference lies in whether the group respects your free will, encourages open discussion, and focuses on service rather than control. Recognizing these signs is the first step in protecting yourself and your loved ones from the dangers of cults. Cults are not just unusual groups with strange beliefs. They can cause serious harm to their members and society as a whole. Understanding these dangers is crucial to protecting yourself and others. First, cults often exploit their members emotionally. They manipulate feelings of guilt, fear, or inadequacy to control people. For example, a cult leader might convince members that they are unworthy or sinful unless they follow the group's rules perfectly. This creates a cycle of shame and dependency, where members feel they must stay in the group to earn approval or redemption. Over time, this emotional manipulation can lead to severe anxiety, depression, and loss of self-esteem. Second, cults can isolate members from the outside world. They may discourage or even forbid contact with family and friends who are not part of the group. This isolation cuts off members from support systems that could help them recognize the group's harmful influence. It also makes it harder to leave, as members fear they have no one to turn to outside the cult. Financial exploitation is another common danger. Many cults pressure members to give large sums of money, often beyond their means. They may require regular donations, charge high fees for training or materials, or even ask members to give up their savings or property. This financial abuse leaves members struggling with debt and economic hardship, while leaders enjoy wealth and luxury. Cults also pose a threat to physical well-being. Members may be pressured to follow extreme diets, work long hours, or neglect their health in other ways to show their dedication. In some cases, cults have led members to physical harm through dangerous rituals, punishment, or even mass violence. These physical risks should never be underestimated. Finally, the social damage caused by cults can ripple outward. Families are torn apart, as members are often encouraged to cut ties with non-believers. Communities can be disrupted by the secrecy and mistrust surrounding these groups. In extreme cases, cults have committed acts of violence or fraud that harm innocent people outside the group. The danger of cults lies not only in their beliefs, but in their methods of control and exploitation. By understanding these risks, you can take steps to protect yourself and your loved ones, ensuring that you remain free to live, think, and believe as you choose. Recognizing a cult can be challenging, especially because many of them appear harmless or even welcoming at first. However, there are specific warning signs to watch for that can help you identify a dangerous group before it's too late. One key characteristic of a cult is a charismatic leader who claims to have extraordinary abilities, knowledge, or divine authority. This leader often demands loyalty and obedience from members, presenting themselves as the ultimate source of truth. If a group centers entirely around one person and discourages questioning their authority, that is a significant red flag. Another common sign of a cult is manipulation and control over members' lives. Cults often enforce strict rules about how members should think, behave, and interact with others. These rules may govern aspects of daily life, such as what to wear, what to eat, or even who to marry. Violating these rules can lead to punishment, shaming, or expulsion from the group. Healthy organizations respect personal freedom and allow individuals to make their own choices. Isolation from the outside world is another major warning sign. Cults often encourage members to cut ties with family, friends, and anyone who might question the group's beliefs. They may say that outside relationships are dangerous, or that non-members cannot understand the group's mission. This isolation makes it harder for members to hear alternative viewpoints or recognize harmful behavior within the group. Cults also use fear and guilt to maintain control. They may instill fear by warning members of terrible consequences if they leave, such as eternal punishment, spiritual failure, or harm to loved ones. They might also create guilt by convincing members that they are sinful, unworthy, or failing the group's expectations. These emotional tactics keep members feeling trapped and dependent. Exploitation of finances and resources is another telltale sign. Members may be pressured to donate large sums of money, work for free, or give up personal property. This money and effort usually go toward enriching the leaders rather than benefiting the community. Lastly, pay attention to secrecy and lack of transparency. Cults often hide their true practices or intentions, revealing them only to those who are deeply involved. legitimate organizations have nothing to hide and welcome questions and accountability. If you notice these signs, take them seriously. Protect yourself by seeking outside perspectives and thinking critically about the group's actions and intentions. Awareness is your first line of defense against falling into a harmful situation. It's easy to assume that only naive or uneducated people join cults, but that's not true. People from all walks of life can become involved in a cult. Understanding the reasons why this happens can help us be more empathetic and aware of our own vulnerabilities. One of the most common reasons people join cults is a search for meaning or purpose. Life can be confusing, especially during times of change, loss, or uncertainty. A cult may offer clear answers to life's big questions, promising fulfillment, enlightenment, or salvation. For someone feeling lost or directionless, this can be very appealing. Another reason is a sense of belonging. Many people who join cults feel isolated or disconnected from their communities. Cults often present themselves as warm, welcoming groups where everyone is valued and cared for. They create a strong sense of unity and loyalty, which can be especially attractive to those who feel alone or misunderstood. Emotional vulnerability is another factor. People going through difficult life events, such as the loss of a loved one, a divorce, or financial troubles, are more likely to be drawn to a group that offers comfort and support. Cults often target individuals in these situations, promising solutions to their pain or problems. Some people are drawn in by charismatic leaders. These leaders are often skilled at reading people's emotions and using persuasive language to inspire trust and devotion. They may appear confident, wise, or even magical, making it easier for people to believe in their claims. Cults also use manipulative tactics to recruit members. For example, they might love bomb newcomers, showering them with attention and praise to make them feel special. Once a person feels accepted and valued, they are more likely to stay, even as the group's demands increase. Finally, fear of missing out can play a role. Cults often claim to have exclusive access to special knowledge or a better way of life. This can make people feel that if they don't join, they will miss their chance for happiness, success, or spiritual growth. It's important to recognize that anyone can be vulnerable under the right circumstances. Cults prey on universal human needs: connection, purpose, and security. By understanding these factors, we can be more compassionate toward those who have been involved in cults and better equipped to protect ourselves and others from manipulation. Avoiding the influence of a cult starts with awareness and a proactive approach to protecting your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Here are some practical steps you can take to safeguard yourself. 1. Educate yourself about cult tactics. Knowledge is your first line of defense. Familiarize yourself with the common signs of a cult, such as excessive control, financial exploitation, and fear-based manipulation. By recognizing these tactics early, you can avoid getting drawn in. 2. Trust your instincts. If something feels off about a group, trust that feeling. Manipulative groups often try to override your gut instincts, convincing you that doubts are a sign of weakness or misunderstanding. Don't ignore your inner voice. It's there to protect you. 3. Question everything. Healthy organizations welcome questions and open discussion. If a group discourages you from asking questions or insists on blind obedience, take that as a warning sign. Always seek to understand the full picture before committing to any group or ideology. 4. Maintain connections with loved ones. Cults often isolate members from family and friends, making it harder to think critically or leave. Stay connected to your support network and share your experiences with people you trust. Their perspective can help you recognize unhealthy dynamics that may be harder to see from the inside. 5. Set boundaries. If someone pressures you to join a group or commit more than you're comfortable with, don't be afraid to say no. A healthy group will respect your boundaries and give you time to decide. Be especially cautious if a group demands immediate decisions or large sacrifices. 6. Research the group's history. Look into the group's background, leadership, and reputation. Have former members spoken out about abuse or exploitation? Does the leader have a history of unethical behavior? Legitimate organizations have nothing to hide and are open to scrutiny. 7. Protect your finances. Avoid giving large sums of money or signing over assets to any group, especially if pressured to do so. Financial demands are a major red flag. Keep control of your resources and consult trusted advisors before making big decisions. 8. Seek professional advice. If you're uncertain about a group, consult with a therapist, spiritual leader, or someone experienced in identifying cult-like behavior. Outside perspectives can be invaluable. By staying informed, connected, and critical, you can protect yourself and your loved ones from the dangers of manipulative groups. Cults rely on secrecy and control. Your awareness is their greatest weakness. If you're seeking spiritual growth, fulfillment, or purpose, it's important to find guidance that is healthy, supportive, and trustworthy. True spiritual guidance respects your autonomy and fosters growth, not dependence. Here are some principles to help you find genuine spiritual leaders and communities. 1. Look for humility, not authority. True spiritual leaders don't claim to have all the answers or demand unquestioning loyalty. Instead, they encourage exploration, learning, and personal growth. A genuine teacher will admit their limitations and guide you toward finding your own truths rather than insisting on their authority. 2. Seek open dialogue and transparency. Healthy spiritual communities welcome questions and value honest discussion. They encourage members to express doubts, share ideas, and explore their beliefs freely. Avoid groups that discourage dialogue or use secrecy to create exclusivity. 3. Prioritize compassion and service. True spirituality is grounded in kindness, compassion, and service to others. A healthy community focuses on improving the well-being of its members and contributing positively to society. Be wary of groups that prioritize power, wealth, or recruitment over genuine care and service. 4. Respect for personal boundaries. A genuine spiritual guide or group respects your individuality and autonomy. They don't pressure you to give up your time, money, or personal relationships to prove your commitment. Instead, they support you in balancing your spiritual journey with your personal and professional life. 5. Look for consistency in words and actions. A true spiritual leader practices what they preach. Their behavior should align with the values they promote. If a leader's actions contradict their teachings, such as preaching humility while living extravagantly, consider it a red flag. 6. Avoid fear-based teachings. True spirituality inspires hope, peace, and love, not fear. Groups that rely on threats of punishment or catastrophe to control members are not offering genuine guidance. Seek communities that focus on personal growth and inner peace instead. 7. Trust your intuition. Your inner sense of peace and clarity is a strong guide. A genuine spiritual path will help you feel more balanced and whole, not confused, pressured, or fearful. If something doesn't feel right, it's okay to step back and reflect. 8. Stay connected to diverse perspectives. Engaging with a variety of spiritual traditions, ideas, and teachings can help you stay grounded. A healthy spiritual journey is enriched by diversity and does not rely on exclusivity. Remember, true spiritual guidance empowers you to think, grow, and live with greater freedom. Seek a path that nurtures your spirit while respecting your individuality and dignity. Protecting yourself and others from the influence of harmful groups like cults is an important responsibility. By staying informed, connected, and grounded in your values, you can safeguard your freedom and well-being while seeking meaningful spiritual growth. Remember, the essence of true spirituality is love, compassion, and respect for all individuals, including yourself. If you found this discussion helpful or thought-provoking, please consider supporting this channel. Subscribing ensures you won't miss future videos that explore topics like this, offering insights and guidance for living a balanced and thoughtful life. And if you feel this video could benefit someone you know, sharing it with them can make a difference. Thank you for spending your time with me today. May you walk a path of peace, wisdom, and clarity, free from fear and full of purpose. I look forward to connecting with you again in the next video. Take care.